Hello, everybody. How y'all doing? Uh, I guess I'm just about a minute early. So let's see if we get anybody coming in on. Ugh, can't even speak. Coming on in here. Uh, it has been a busy week. So we'll see how things go. Baldy, how you doing? First person in or first person to comment today? Uh, a whole lot. A whole lot has been going on this week. What about you? How you doing? Got me a pour a going. A little bit of amber. It's good looking. Good color on that. This is a 3 chord. Let's see. It's finished in pink, whatever, noir barrels. Some type of wine barrels. Um, Small batch, whatever. How you doing, Sizzle? Yeah, for me too, Baldy. School started back up this week. That's why it was so busy. So my week. Monday I had class. Wednesday I had class. Tuesday I had an EGD. So that day was done. I got home from it and I crashed and I didn't get up till later. They put me under, EGDs, they put a scope down your throat and look at your esophagus and your stomach and the first part of your small intestines. Um, and so they put me under, and when I got home, I went to sleep, and I didn't wake up till later that evening, and then turned around and just Tuesday was toast. So Monday school, pretty much it was toast. Um, I have to leave here. So school is at, I think it's at 12:40 Central Time. So I have to leave here 11:40 Eastern Time, and I don't get home till almost 5 Eastern Time. Um, on Wednesdays, I have two classes, and I have to leave here, and they're both in person. I have to leave here, I think 10:30 Eastern Time. It's at 11:30 Eastern Time, I think. So, and it's like an hour and a half to 2 hour drive. And again, I don't get home till 5 or almost 5. So, yeah. And then I forget what I did Thursday. And then Friday, I made a trip down to Alabama, and Saturday made my trip back home. So, yeah, I agree. I agree with the learning better in person. The bad thing is one of these classes, one of them's fine. But it shouldn't be hard because it's one credit hour class. So really, it's just us preparing, or the school preparing us for jobs. So it's going to be like preparing our personal brand, doing our resumes, stuff like that, LinkedIn profile, stuff like that. The other one is a lot of work. It's like they want you to do read a chapter, do a pop quiz. Um, there was like 5 tasks I had to do for this for the first class, and now, or me for the first week, and now I haven't even looked at this coming week. It's crazy. Uh, yeah, I guess I could get a lot of bike time with the commute, but it's cheaper to put 4 tires on my car at the rate I need to put tires on it than it is to put 2 tires on my motorcycle at the rate I got to put on it. Plus, to change the oil in my car, me doing it myself, is about a third as cheap as changing the oil in my motorcycle and me doing it myself. So I would love, if I have a trip planned and school is just in the way, so maybe I ride down to the school and then I go do whatever. That's great. But I'm not going to ride it because I'm not really not. I'm saving barely any money on gas. I get 36 miles to a gallon on the car, and I get 40, maybe 41 on the bike. So yeah, and then, and I guess my last point on that is I had to park in the west lot, which is I don't want to park my bike out there. It's away from everything. It's not the greatest part of town. It's not horrible, but it's not the greatest part of town. And I don't, I'd rather my car, big deal, right? But not my motorcycle. I don't want to park it out there. So I don't know. I would love for it to be a little different. And I thought about riding my motorcycle. I thought, hey, yeah, that'd be some good time. But when I think about it, it just doesn't make sense, not for me the way it is. Uh, Sizzle, how you been doing? Ain't heard. Well, I ain't been on here. I'm fixing to create a poll. So, ask a question. Are tool boxes, large needed in the home garage? So before you answer that, let me explain what I'm asking. There you go. There's your poll. Uh, Good to hear that you're doing good, Sizzle. Glad to see everyone in here. But so toolboxes. It's one thing to have a little toolbox to sort of organize certain things. Um, but if you've got your own home garage, is it worth the expense to spend 1,500, 2,000 or more? 1,500, 2,000, let's say 1,000. 1,000 or more on a toolbox for the home garage, when you don't need it to lock up tools. You Unless you got a ton, do you really need it to, organized? Could Would it be better served to, you know, have pegboards or some other organization method? Um, so which is better if you have your home garage. Um, and defend your opinion. I'd like to see. Uh, I think there's a breaking point. Um, let's say you have just enough to fill up a 72 incher, just enough, and you got your home garage. I don't really think you need that big of a toolbox for your tools. I think a lot of them could be placed in other positions, and you could probably be best served with a smaller toolbox. Now, if you've got more enough to fill up a 72 plus whatever, yeah, I could see having a large toolbox. I could see where it'd be beneficial. In my case, yes, it's beneficial. I've got, if not, I couldn't hang all the tools up. They would be in boxes, like cardboard boxes all over the place or stuff, you know. Um, but with the amount of tools I've got, of course, it'd make finding and sorting through stuff so much easier. Don't have enough wall space really to hang everything up if I wanted to. Um, when I build my little room, when I finally get it finished, there's going to be built-ins, drawers, cabinets, uh, pegboard style stuff, all kind of different options. And so tools are going to be in different spots. Now I'm probably going to use my dad's old toolbox in there. Um, and it's going to have like an extra set of tools to sort of make everything a little easier to access so that I've kind of got everything I need in that room as well as outside. Um, so that's me. That's what I've got, thinking about that. But there's so many options out there nowadays that, that $1,000 plus, it might go a long way to doing what you need it to do without spending that maybe 400 or 500 on a box from Home Depot, and then the rest on some other storage solution. Let's see. Especially if you've got a smaller garage. Got a bigger garage, maybe a small portable with all your, you know, most used stuff. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. 100% the storage density allows for everything to be easily accessible, not in a billion boxes. However, not everyone needs a giant epic box. I agree. Um, I use pack out for my newer tools and old dressers for my older tools. That's cool. That would work pretty good, especially, it's just according to your needs. Um, it's kind of crazy how some people spend money on toolboxes way above what they need. I can understand an anticipation of needing one, but sometimes we buy now and fill up later. I admit I probably got way more tools than I need. Um, and I could probably slim it down a pretty good bit. I'm not talking about all the extras I bought to review because most of those are laying around in cardboard boxes. Stuff that I'm not using, testing out, it's laying around in cardboard boxes, just collecting dust. And some of it is not even worthy of giving away. Some of it I've bought and I wouldn't feel right giving away. I think I've actually given away tools that I probably shouldn't have. They just you know, wasn't worth anything. But anyway, it's neither here nor there. Let's see what this tastes like. I haven't tried it. It's been opened. It was a bottle left over from an event, and someone said, "Hey, can you make sure you take it home and bring it back to the next event?" And I forgot to bring it back. But I'll take, we'll have it again next year, and I'll bring it then. Um, what are some possible other solutions we could use? I'm thinking hanging them on the wall, uh, and using pegboard and stuff. The pack outs are awesome. The old dresser. Um, what are some other good ideas you could use instead of going and buying a big toolbox? That's interesting, but I can taste the wine pretty big in it. Um, taste is Pinot Noir. P. I'll type it out here because I can't say it right. Uh, Pinot Noir. Is that a red wine? If you know, let me know. I don't know. It tastes like maybe a dry red wine mixed in with it. It's just got that aftertaste, I think. Not a big wine guy, but I've, every now and then I've, sampled some stuff that were, I don't like it. I don't like any dry wines. They have to be dessert wines for me to really like them because I have such a sophisticated palate. You train your palate with whatever you are. So whether it's a beer, whether it's whiskey or whatever, and you kind of have, you know, most people have to train their palate. Anyway, Batco 4S before I could fill it with a huge student discount. Now about as full as I could comfortably work at a. I use a 40 and cat top box, so I have a bit of computer space. That's a pretty good idea. I like that. I at one point I had so I've got a rim line 40-inch or 42. It might be just be a 40. You've probably seen it in my videos. And I've got the general, uh, the Harbor Freight 72, and it's got a side cabinet. I had my 40-inch on top of it, but I've got it placed on other stuff now. So, it's it I've got that full open top box. I used to do my reviews off of it. So yeah. Some companies make a sliding tool cabinet like Junkyard Digs has. Sliding tool cabinet. Is it a sliding top or let me look it up. Yard Digs sliding tool cabinet. See what they come up with. Okay. See, on the top of the pack out, I might have replaced it for most things, as I was lucky enough to snag one of the Tecton prototype tool rows. Awesome. I seen that advertised last week as a prototype. Went and clicked the link, and it was already sold out. And might have been a little late on it. I can't remember. Maybe come out a few days before that or something. But yeah, the only complaint I have with the roll is that I'm now weighs 40, 50 pounds. Cabinet is like a tool locker, but has sliding bookshelf organization, kind of like an archive. Okay, so if I'm hearing you correct, let's say this is the tool locker, and it's got a sliding. It slides out, and you store it right in here, and it can have hangers or it can have trays and stuff like that. Is that what it is? And if it is, I like that. I want to do something like that. So one thing I was thinking about here just a minute ago was, so my new little room that I'm building, when I put up cabinets with doors on those cabinets, I was thinking maybe when you open the door, it's got things on the door, hanging on the door, possibly. I don't know. The weight on the door might make a problem. I'm also thinking about putting slide out, baskets and stuff, so that instead of everything packed in there and I have to dig through it, I can instead install this little, thing on uh, sliders. I forget what they're called. There's another name for them that's better. But anyway, slide it out and you've got your tools in there. So yeah, side to side like a floor mounted large bookshelf that compresses with each other. Hmm. Okay. So if I'm correct, you would pull this bookshelf out, and it'd have stuff in there. You push it back in, and it's got another bookshelf right here that you push in, or is it are you facing the bookshelves and you have to pull them out of the way? Look up rolling archive shelves. Rolling archive shelves. Images. Huh. Okay. That's interesting. So I was kind of picturing that, except instead of spreading apart, they come out, you push it in. That's kind of how I was picturing it. But that's cool. Uh, oh, why am I yawning? So it says we got 4 people in here. I'm talking with Baldy, I'm talking with Sizzle. I may be one of those 4. Who else we got in here tonight? No matter who it is, cheers everyone. Thank you for joining in. Let's keep this conversation going. I do have one no so far, I think. Let me look. Looks like, well, I've got 67% yes, 33% no. I think that means 1 no, 2 yeses. And I have not voted. So, Leverack. Okay. I'll look into that. That could be kind of cool. To have something like that in the garage. It'd take up a weird space. Not that it would take up too more or less, but it would be a weird space. Something like that was thin, that if it was thin and you hung your tools on it, there was a cool deal I seen a tool cabinet, and it was like a big cabinet on wheels, but everything kind of hung up on it. Okay, here's a one. That ain't what I want. I don't want shopping. Images. Well, I know I'm being quiet. I'm sorry. Here's one. Uh, so here is one that I'm kind of seeing that would be cool, and it might be an interesting storage solution. And this is kind of what I was thinking about earlier. Can you see that? That could be interesting to use. And yeah, that one might, that could go into a tool locker and could maybe help take advantage of some lost space. And then there's this deal that it's not exactly what I'm talking about, but the whole thing, I seen it one time, and the whole thing had storage all the way around it, and it ended up folding all up and closing all up on itself. So it wasn't a bunch of drawers. It was like the tools were all separated in different areas. Some were hanging, some were, and then you just closed it all up, but you could get the tools from all over it. Let's see. But yeah, wondering if with all the inflation, would there would be good holiday deals. I don't know. Um, there may be some, and it may be, but it may be still more expensive than maybe this time last year. Got most of my pack out on a glitch last October. October, cool, cool. Chassis with the first one is that requires essentially double the floor space. The second one is great for fasteners or bits and whatnot. Yeah, I agree. They both I think would have their uses, but they both are for more specialized. So you have to have a need for it in that way, or be able to use it in some way. Like the first one, I could see maybe putting it in the upper cabinet and sliding it out, or just hanging it on a wall the way it is. That way it didn't take up floor space. The second one, just like you said, probably great for nuts and bolts. Man, that would be top heavy. You can make it very top heavy. But anyway, uh, you know, Sizzle, I've never been able to take advantage of any of those glitches. That sucks. It's interesting. I don't know if I like that or not. It doesn't taste bad. I just don't know that I like it. Part-time gig at Lowe's was a big mistake. Pretty sure I tore tore the pin in my shoe. Oh, man, that's not good. Uh, I wish you could have at least got them to look at it under workman's comp, because man, that could be a booger with you. Um, so I did another thing. I'm sort of switching gears on this, but I did another thing this week, and I'll go back to that in a minute. But let's see, can we see it? Let me move this way. Ah, there we go. I still can't see it. I bought a workout bench. I'm working on myself. I've got to strengthen myself up for next year's ride, get myself build a little more endurance, do a few things like that. I was woefully lacking in endurance last year. And when I bought it as an open box through Amazon. Well, it didn't come, it was missing two pins, safety pins, and it was missing a nut. Just a nut. Went out to the garage, got the nut, went out there. I didn't want to replace it with a bolt because I wanted it to be quick. So I got to look and I found these on Amazon. I bought these for that, and it's great. They work. I'm going to take a screw and screw it near where it goes so that it, pull it out and I never lose it, right? I got to thinking, I lost a pin that goes to my trailer to hold the ramp in when it's not in use. And I'm thinking, man, if I could find the right size of these, that would work great. So I bought two of them, and I'll be installing them as soon as I can. I got another busy week coming up, but I'm gonna do what I can. But I think that's going to be awesome. It may not save time, but it'll help me hopefully prevent me from losing them. Um, I wasn't the one that lost the last one. Uh, a guy I let borrow it lost it, and I didn't realize it till later. So it is what it is. I always did it in a certain way, and that's why it's hard to let people use stuff, because he brought it back with a flat tire, and I understand stuff happens, but when these things happen, at least come back and offer to fix it. I may not have made you fix it, but at least offer to fix it. This one person, we had worked out a deal. I worked on his car. I replaced a part. And this was quite some time ago. And he was going to trade it and work. But the next few times I got him to work, he said, "Oh, yeah, I'm going to come down this day." And he wouldn't. So, yeah, and I just done. Got another young man who helps me out, and he follows through on. We trade work out, and he mows my grass and does a pretty decent job for me. I've got some work to do for him. I'm probably the bad person in that whole deal with him, because I'm an asshole and I'm grumpy and I don't want to do it, and especially when it comes to working on cars, because good kid and everything, but like he'll need, what's the last thing he needed? I don't remember what it was, but it was more than just a simple something. The last thing we did was, fix studs, uh, wheel studs. That wasn't the one. The one before that was repairing a pulley, putting new bearings in it. that was a little aggravating. And then there was one before that that was aggravating. But it is what it is. I get my grass cut and I get do a little bit of mechanic work for someone, so that works out right. Right, right. Let's see. Most large scale organizations meant for large shops with plenty of room. We had a bunch of those second organizers in the shop I was at this summer, but it was a 120 by 200-foot building. Yeah, that's a whole lot of space. I'd, uh, I'd, I don't know what I could do with all that space. I would use it. I'd fill it up. I don't need it, but I'd fill it up. Careful where you trailer ramps. We've been having issues with people around us having their ramp stolen. Well, that sucks. Maybe I'll figure out how to fix that. At least put some type of lock in there where they can't be pulled out or something. I don't know. See, we got locking pins for our car hauler. That's awesome. So the ones that were on it were, the kind that they go in your hitch, removable hitch receiver. It's got the little 45-degree bend in it, and then the other end you put a pin through. That's the kind it had. Um, and either the pin got left off on it, or when they unloaded the vehicle, they didn't put the pin back in. One of the two. I don't know. It is what it is. But the whole trailer ramp's getting stolen. That sucks. Um, I mean, they're nothing special, but yeah, that's just man. That's sorry of someone to do that. One side is usually parked next to my building, and you wouldn't be able to get the ramp out or the ramp. But the other side, yeah, you'd be able to get it out. Oh, what we got? 37 minutes in. Uh, what else? Guys, I'm not sure if I've got anything else to talk about. I do know this week I've got a few things to do. I've got my school to do that I have to get done. I have to at least change the oil in my motorcycle. I think I'm at the 30,000 mile service. And it's more than that, but I'm just a little short of it. I am going to go ahead and change my oil and maybe save it till I get to 30,000 to do the other stuff. I have my reasons. So, got me a oil filter. Uh, Not sure if I got the oil that I need. I've got to smoke a brisket. That's very important. Matter of fact, after I get off here, before I get back on my homework, which I've got like 3 or 4 things due before midnight, um, I'm probably going to go set the brisket out. Um, and I'm going to do the brisket soon enough because it's been in the freezer for over a year. And I don't know. It should be good. There's no reason it's not good. But some things tell you that you shouldn't, use anything that's been in the freezer for over a certain amount of time. So I don't know. What else? I got a lot of things to do. But anyway, I'm gonna cut it off early tonight. Thank y'all for tuning in. I appreciate y'all's support. Hopefully we can get everybody else back in here once they see I'm back doing lives. I need to get back busy on other stuff. That last video I did is doing way better than a lot of my other stuff. And it's making me wonder, what direction the channel should go. No matter what, this is going to stay the same. I'm going to try to do topics that we're all interested in, but I'm also going to use the comment space and direct the topic that way too. So, uh, y'all take care. Yes, we need to get the group together. I want to do something, and maybe we can plan for something this coming year. But thank y'all. Y'all take care. Have a great night. I will see y'all next Sunday for sure, unless I can't. I don't know. Next Sunday, I'm going to be involved in an event, so but I'll let you know if I'm not going to do it. I'll put a thing on the little community deal or whatever. Thank y'all. Have a great week. Have a blessed week. Take care of each other, and have a good night.